What do you do when you want an opinion on someone who did something horrible, terrible, a bunch of horrid crimes? Do you invite on someone who perhaps like has some expertise in like investigating or researching these sorts of crimes, or maybe a victim of that crime or a similar crime to give you some insight into it? Or do you invite on a perpetrator of that same crime to defend the perpetrator of that crime and tell everyone how he was actually justified in what he did, and also that they are privileged and elitist for taking exception to what he did? Well, there's this channel called The Majority Report with Sam Seder, and they did the second option. They did that second option. They did the equivalent of inviting on a rapist to comment on a sexual assault case and tell everyone about how privileged they are for not raping. And that's no exaggeration. Actually, I'd say that what they did is worse than that, because they invited on a murderer. So you know, there's the whole Graham Platner thing right now. Graham Platner did 4 tours with the US military. He's talked about how he enjoyed killing, he loved it, all that sort of thing, you know, all the good stuff. Why did you enlist in the Marine Corps, he said? Wanted to have an adventure and kill some people. Joined up in 04, did Fallujah and Ramadi and managed both. Both being he managed to kill some people and have an adventure. Hell of an excellent experience. So Graham Platner is someone who signed up for 4 tours. He kept signing up again and again and again. He just wanted to keep going back. This man is a serial killer, a mass murderer of Iraqis and Afghans who enjoyed murdering these people. He considered it an adventure. He considered it fun. So if you want to have someone to comment on like this, the psychology or the pathology behind such an abhorrent, unrepentant criminal, obviously what you do is you invite on another unrepentant criminal to defend him. They had a caller on their show who was a US Army veteran, and Sam Seder agreed with pretty much every fucking thing this guy said, and they uploaded the clip of it saying, US Army veteran caller unpacks Graham Platner's situation, obviously presenting this guy as if he's an authority. This is so backwards, it's insane. This is just an incredibly dumb compulsion that these people have. Like, if you want an opinion on what a veteran did, someone who's going to tell you, like, as an authority that they imagine that it was justified, you don't bring on another perpetrator of the same acts to tell you that it's justified. Do the victims ever even factor into it for you people? Like, I see this so much. There was a Reddit comment of another guy doing this, and he gets upvoted on like the BreadTube subreddit. Like this guy on here who still fucking calls what he did the global war on terrorism. I'm a global war on terrorism veteran, raised in a super conservative home and went straight into the military after high school. Oh, if you're raised conservative, I guess that's an excuse to mass murder Iraqis and Afghans. You're absolved, dude. And then he said here, I give the guy a good deal of grace and I want to hear his perspective on it all now before writing it off. You give him a good deal of grace? You're his fucking accomplice. You're another criminal. This is like the Nazis forgiving themselves for doing the Holocaust. Are you fucking kidding me? The audacity of these people. And that's what fucking Sam Seder did here. You would think you would highlight like an Iraqi telling you like the terror of like their homes being raided nightly by Graham Platner and his mates in the US military. That would give you some real perspective. But no. Who they chose to highlight is a US Army veteran caller. And you're not going to believe this guy's fucking talking points. Like, I was fucking gobsmacked hearing this shit for the first time. This guy begins by telling you that Graham Platner's Nazi tattoo, he had no idea what it was. It's just normal to get yourself tattooed with a skull in the military. He actually said here that if you know what a Totenkopf is, you're the real Nazi, because you shouldn't know what that means. Just listen to this shit.
Notable symbol that's hardly mistakable. He tattooed it on his chest, fully mistaking what it meant, right?
Yeah.
And still has that tattoo to this day. Not a political guy. I've known the guy for years. I know he's not lying. And so these guys...
Like, even in the best case scenario here, if they didn't know what these skulls meant, they're still getting themselves tattooed with fucking skulls, right? Like, they're getting themselves tattooed with skulls, symbols of death and destruction, as a memento of what they did in Iraq and Afghanistan. You don't see a problem with that? Not that Platner didn't know what it meant. He did know what it meant. I've been over this before. He's talked about Totenkopfs and shit before on Reddit. So this right here is Graham Platner contributing to a post about a Nazi Totenkopf on Reddit 6 years ago. But the whole thread was about Nazi SF Totenkopf. specifically mentioned by name. And he was participating in this thread while he had one on his chest, okay? The Totenkopf on the dude on the left is a good clue. So he obviously knew what it was. He knew precisely what it fucking was. And then he got it covered up with another like more subtle Nazi symbol. But anyway, this is just hilarious, this guy's reasoning.
They come into the army.
Like, you invite on a fucking mass murderer to tell us how actually this other mass murderer has never done anything wrong, and mass murdering is good, actually, and anyone who thinks the mass murdering is bad is actually a privileged elitist. Does that seem logical to you? It seems logical to Sam Seder of the Majority Report.
You know, Platner joined at 18 in 2003, sometime right after
18.
high school.
He didn't know that killing was bad. He was only 18 years old.
According to him, in 2007, he's in his early 20s. And the idea that, you know, these guys in their early 20s, even now, much less 20 years ago, would have been so brushed up on their Nazi symbolism that if I were to take them into a tattoo parlor, here or abroad, and they walked in and looked at the flash wall and said, "Is that a Totenkopf?" I would have thought you were a Nazi if you did that. If you knew what that was, because that's weird.
Sam Seder agrees with that. Sam Seder thinks that if you know what a Totenkopf is, you're Adolf Hitler. Graham Platner clearly knew what it was. Is he Adolf Hitler?
Why would you know that? Okay, Adolf, calm down. You know, like, it's insane.
This is incredible. Sam Seder just agrees with that 100%.
100%. And also,
he literally says 100%.
You know,
100%. And
he thinks knowing what a Totenkopf is makes you a Nazi, not having one tattooed on your chest. Incredible.
I will say this. I had never heard the word Totenkopf before this, and I would not be able, and I probably saw it on uniform.
This guy's a political commentator. He doesn't know what a fucking SS Totenkopf is. The SS Totenkopf is like so ubiquitous, so well-known, so normal, that it's literally the skull from the Are We the Baddies skit. It is the skull from the fucking Mitchell and Webb Are We the Baddies skit.
Very well.
It's the exact skull that fucking Graham Platner had on his fucking chest. Is that skull right there from this skit. Sam Seder, a 50-year-old political commentator who's sold to us as an expert, an authority with his own political show named after him, a progressive firebrand, doesn't know what a fucking Nazi Totenkopf is. Or he's probably lying about it, to be honest, because there's no fucking way, unless he's just brain dead. There's no way he doesn't know. I refuse to believe that, actually. I'm going to give him a little bit of credit and assume that he's lying about it because he loves Graham Platner so much. He goes on here to go on to talk about how you're privileged if you basically, like, if you don't join Blackwater or work for, like, an arms company, you're privileged. I just want to note here, the way that they're laser focusing specifically on Blackwater, as if without the Blackwater thing it would be fine, is very telling as well. This guy went to Iraq and Afghanistan 4 times because, by his own admission, he wanted to kill people. He posted on Reddit saying that the reason why he joined was to kill people and have an adventure. 4 tours with the US military. Each one of those is just as bad as 1 tour with Blackwater, okay? The Blackwater thing, it's not, they aren't especially bad. It's just, you have to be genuinely sadistic to go back for more with a mercenary company. Like, Platner is a criminal based on him invading Iraq, brutalizing people there, destroying the country, killing people for fun, for adventure. The Blackwater thing is just icing on the shit cake. Nevertheless, just fucking look at this, okay?
Attention, these guys are, you know, high school diplomas coming out, going into what's basically, especially if you're going into the combat arms infantry, you're going to like a frat house environment, right? They don't know what this stuff is.
What? These are like little children. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what the military is for. They have no idea what's going on. They don't understand that the military is for killing people. They thought the tanks were for show. They thought the guns were for show. They're just little children, baby boys. Let's investigate Graham Platner's comment history and see how this holds up to reality. This is a post that Graham Platner posted, where he gave his reasoning for joining the army. Let's see if he didn't understand that the military was for killing or not. He said that my deep-seated drive to experience war to its fullest brought me to the steps of a Marine Corps recruiting office. I'd been accepted into a decent East Coast university after high school, and then I went backpacking on my parents' dime all across the world. However, I wanted adventure. During my time abroad, I researched as to how I was going to get myself to war, and I decided that the Marine Corps was the best way of doing it, is basically what he says here, paraphrased. I wanted to fight soon. I told the recruiter I wanted 2 things, the infantry and to be in the Iraq War within the year. He was just a little child who didn't understand the military's for killing. It's like a frat bro environment. He doesn't know what the military's for. This infantilization of literal adults who voluntarily choose to sign up to go and fucking murder people and then go back for more 4 fucking times. Platner did it 4 fucking times more. And this guy who's talking here said he's a 12-year veteran. Unbelievable. These people infantilize themselves because they know what they did is indefensible. They know it's terrible, so they just make excuses for it. They can't defend the acts, so they try to turn themselves into little babies. It's a rapist defending another rapist. There's no difference.
So, anybody who's trying to say that he should have or didn't is just trying to launder their perspective through hindsight.
You should have known that you'd murder people if you chose to invade Iraq. You signed up specifically to invade Iraq. You should have known. Whoa!
You didn't know either. You're just
trying to score points or something, he says.
To score points or something.
I can't believe this. Sam Seder just sits there nodding along. He agrees with all of this.
But I wanted to also talk about people bring up the fact that he worked for Blackwater afterwards, or the fact that he was a government contractor. And I just want to say to people, the military does not, despite what they say, automatically set you up for success.
So what's the logic here? If after you go and mass murder Iraqis, the military doesn't give you literally a golden ticket and subsidize your entire life for the rest of your life, take care of you 100% as if they were your parents, that means that you get to join Blackwater and go back to kill more people. These people treat the lives of the victims of American imperialism like they're literally nothing, like they're resources to be expended if they themselves can get some sort of advantage out of them. They literally don't even account for it at all. And Sam Seder is one of these people because he just sits there in agreement with this, doesn't push back at all. The logic is insane. The logic is completely insane.
And I would argue it can't, because that's just not its function, right? But it's not a guaranteed opportunity when you get out of the military that you're just going to be set up.
So fucking what? I just got done mass murdering people in Iraq and Afghanistan, and I came home, and I guess because I'm not literally set up for life after that, I'm entitled to go back for more and murder people? What kind of fucking logic is this? Murder is so normalized for these fuckers, they just don't even flinch at this explanation.
And especially so for these guys in combat arms, because, Brian may remember this, there's a program in the Army where you go in and put your skills in, and it's supposed to pop out a list based on your skills you earned in the military of all the jobs you could possibly do when you get out. And so I watched a guy who was a combat arms guy put it in, the thing, and the list popped out, manager at McDonald's. And there's nothing wrong, I want to state, with being a manager at McDonald's at all, period. End of story. But if you're given the choice, I'm going to go make $15 or $20 an hour being a manager at McDonald's, or I'm going to take a $130,000 cush office job with benefits at Northrop Grumman, what choice are you making, right? And maybe you wouldn't make that choice. Maybe you'd make that choice on principle, but you're making that choice out of privilege.
Did you hear that? I'd like to describe what we just heard this man say. It is privileged if you would not take a job at Blackwater to be a mercenary killing people, or an American arms company that manufactures bombs to kill Palestinians, for example, in the genocide going on there. It's privileged to not take that job. If you wouldn't take that job because you think you're above working at McDonald's or something, you're privileged. That's what this guy said. The goal here is insane. Privileged? This guy is someone who spent 12 years massacring Afghans and Iraqis for a paycheck. He considered killing them his right. He considered killing them something that he has a right to do is to get ahead. And now he's arguing that once he's done doing that, he also has a right, just because the government isn't taking care for him as if they were his parents after that, he also has a right to then take a job to kill them more for Blackwater, or to help make bombs killing them and people like them. And if you think that's abhorrent and disgusting, you're privileged. You're privileged. You're privileged. You're the privileged one. This is someone who was so absurdly privileged, is so absurdly privileged, that he literally can't imagine a job. He literally can't imagine not choosing to gain material advantage from killing people. The only jobs he's ever known are massacring Afghans and Iraqis, and then massacring them more, or helping to manufacture arms to kill them, and getting money from doing that. And he's telling you that you're privileged. He's telling you that you're privileged for being you could just not kill people. You could not get a job that involves killing people or helping to kill people. You could do that. Have you ever thought about that? And he's like, that's an absurdly privileged position. You know what's privileged? Being so high up on the rung of global hierarchy that for you, murdering the poorest people in the world is just a normal fucking job. Killing people for your own advancement, that's privilege. To the point that you can't even imagine not killing people for your own advancement. And that you are so fucked in the head, the murderer who you are, that you think not killing people for your own advancement, anyone who doesn't kill people for their own advancement in life, they're the privileged ones. And Sam Seder sits there and he just listens to this and doesn't push back at all. He agrees.
A lot of people have to do what is necessary for their families, and a lot of these jobs are just office jobs, right? A lot of these are like no.
I'm just in the office helping to manufacture bombs that blow up Palestinian fucking babies, or in the office doing logistics for the US military. It's not my fault. You know, he's like a pencil pusher for the Holocaust. No big fucking deal.
Frills, like Excel spreadsheet office jobs, you know, at some location for one of these government contractors. And I've seen a lot of people throwing around words like baby killer or...
Yes, you kill fucking babies. That's what the job is for. You're throwing around words for like baby killer to describe me, someone whose literal job it was voluntarily to kill babies for 12 fucking years. Yes! Yes! Abso-fucking-lutely.
War criminal regarding this issue.
Yes, that's what you are.
And I just find it incredibly short-sighted.
It's incredibly short-sighted. It's incredibly short-sighted. Why don't you look long-sightedly at how much I needed to murder people? And this next part is a fucking doozy.
And I think those people need to look at how veterans played critical roles in, like, not only the anti-war movement, but also the civil rights movement.
That's fucking hilarious. You don't play a critical role in anything, for one. You just murdered people. Like, you had to go and murder those people so that later you could feel bad about it and protest against it ineffectually in the US, and no one should ever judge you for it? What a fucking absurd notion. Oh. You could have just not murdered people, and you could, like, not murder people. Like, why are you even invoking this? Like, you're defending working for Blackwater or fucking Northrop Grumman or whatever it is, whatever the fuck they call it, like the arms manufacturer. You're defending that now, and you're like, you know, I can help manufacture bombs to blow up Palestinian children, and also play a critical role in the anti-war movement. What anti-war movement? There's never been a single anti-war movement in the US proper that has ever done anything against our wars. The anti-war movement is people fighting against you and yours, scum like you invading their countries. What the fuck is this shit?
Had to earn in combat, probably killing people, throwing them on the steps. Like, you're going to get in between those people because they've killed people and say, actually, we don't want you here?
Yes, actually, yes. Yes, you mass murder voluntarily for the fucking empire for 12 years or 4 tours. That's 12 years for this guy, 4 tours for Graham Platner. Yeah, we don't fucking want you here. That's what you say to a murderer. It's what you say to a rapist. It's what you say to anyone who's done these unforgivable fucking horrible crimes and who's still defending them to this very day, as you are. We don't want you here. Fuck yes. And we especially don't want you in leadership positions. This is what happens when you invite on a criminal to defend another criminal who did the exact same crime. Of course he's going to defend it and excuse literally everything. What an absurd premise for a video. Sam Seder just sits there and agrees with all of it. Listen, look at this. Look at this. This part is hilarious. Sam Seder is blatantly lying here.
They're really actually interested and invested in what was in his Reddit. They would know at this point, or they should know, that he wrote that his time in the military radicalized him.
No, here's what he wrote. He joined the military because he wanted to kill people. He specifically wanted to kill people. He was privileged. His parents paid for him to go to university. Then they paid for him to go to like Europe and Africa as a backpacker, and he came back and decided, I still want to join the military. I have a free ticket through life from my rich parents. I still want to join the military. What else? He posted in 2021, late 2021. He posted that he would still be in the military if he could. If I could have just stayed in a gun section but had the opportunity to still gain promotions, I would likely still be in the Marine Corps. This is what he said. This is November 2021, after he was supposedly radicalized against the military. Sam Seder is just such a fucking blatant liar for this guy. He posted here saying that if he could have gotten promoted but remained in combat, stayed killing people, he would still be in the Marine Corps today. This guy was radicalized against war. He was radicalized against what he was doing. He thinks it's wrong. And then here he is, saying that he would still be there if only the military didn't eventually remove him from combat after he got promoted to too high of a rank. He would still fucking be there killing people today. So I've said enough here. Sam Seder invites on a rapist to defend rape, a murderer to defend murder. No consideration for the victims, no consideration for anything but the selfish wants and needs of the fucking perpetrators. Not just their selfish wants and needs, but they need to not be judged for what they did at all, ever. And they demand that you should support them in their quest to become like leaders, political leaders, running for positions of real political power. This is absurd. It's insane. These people are abiding by this. Afghans and Iraqis are not even fucking humans for these people. If you are not American, you should take heed of this. These people consider you a thing to be murdered if they themselves can get literally anything out of it, and then they expect to be praised for it, and they expect not to be judged for it at all afterwards. And they literally think you're insane if you judge them for it. It's insane, the arguments these people make. No one even thinks about the premise of these sorts of arguments. Like, come on, he was basically a child. He didn't understand what he was doing. And then Platner's Reddit history is right there. And it's like, I understood what I was doing. I actually really wanted to kill people. And if they would let me do so, I would still be there killing people right fucking now still. These people, Sam Seder, this guy he's speaking to, Graham Platner, all these other people, Emma Vigilant, Ryan Grimm, they think that Americans should be able to kill you as long as they get something out of it, and that they think that they get something out of it makes it okay. Remember that. They would kill you in a fucking second if they thought they could get even a fucking cent out of it.